When we sing, we make merry, we make melody, we remember and we are cognizant of the words that we are saying, and it brings a sort of emotion in us, it awakens an emotion in us, and so I was just moved to recognize all our heroes by aspiring a song towards them, and I believe that we should sing because of what they have done.
There is a strong emotional and nationalistic tone in the poem. How did you channel that feeling into your writing?
I remember our heroes. I remember Samuel Maharero. I remember Hendrik Witbooi. I remember Jacob Marenga. I remember what they did. And so I am so aware of the price they paid. I am aware of their bravery. I'm aware of what they had to go through, for our liberation, how they stood, how courageous they were. And so with all of that in mind, it provoked so much thought, and I was moved. So every line that I wrote with the knowledge and the information of remembering what they stood for. I know that being a Namibian, there was a price that was paid by our heroes.
Sharon, one might say your poem calls readers to action, to remember and honor. Was that intentional?
That was very, very intentional. There was a price that was paid within their blood waters, our freedom. It is within our anthem. And so when we stand here today as Namibians and we remember Heroes Day, we should remember the price, the blood that was shed. It is on their blood that filled our banks. It is that blood, that was on our valleys. It is that blood that they shed that was spotted on our trees and on our berries. And so it was not just a day's victory. It was years and years of our people suffering and oppression, and so for us not to remember that, I think we do a disservice to what they went through.
How important is then storytelling and poetry in preserving the legacy of our national heroes?
We see where we are today as a country, but we need to know that for us to be here, there is a journey, there is a story, and that's where storytelling comes from. Because when our legacy is preserved, our stories are preserved, our children will realize the price, the cost that there is or that there was for infrastructures, for development, for nation building. There is always a price, and there is a story behind everything that stands. And so that is why storytelling is so important, because it also provides that empathy, that human empathy towards one another, that tolerance towards one another. Because when we begin to understand different people and their journeys, we become empathetic towards them, because then we understand where they come from.
Sharon, writing a poem can be very personal sometimes. Was there a particular hero or story that inspired you most when creating this poem?
All our heroes inspire me. I don't have a particular one that stands out for me, but there are heroes that are not known. Some are very personal, but just the denominator or the underlying quote is that they stood for something and they fought. They stood in the face of adversary. They did not draw back. They were not fearful. They wanted to achieve something and they went for it. And for me, that inspires me, even in my own dreams, even in what I want to achieve. For me to be brave, to stand, and to go for it, to go after the things that feels like it's difficult, in the face of obstacles and adversity and drawbacks, for me to just push, because there are people who have gone before me that pushed through.
Now, as a young Namibian that you are, or a young Namibian voice that you have, what do you think the younger generation can learn from our heroes?
To be brave, to stand and to go for what they want to achieve, because nothing comes on a silver platter. They want something, you go for it, you fight for it. And even though you are fighting for it, doesn't mean you should oppress another person, like those who oppressed our people. But to find a space within your dreams to accommodate other people, even though you want to achieve what you want to achieve, find it in yourself to accommodate other people. Be empathetic towards other people. Realize that the next person is a human being just as you are and feels as you are. And let your overall objective be for the betterment of our nation, for nation building, and for our society.
Do you believe enough platforms are being created for poets and writers to contribute to national conversations around Heroes Day?
Platforms such as this, the radios, the television, I think they are trying. I think the media is really trying to air and to come forth and to be part of what the voices of the poets are trying to convey. But I think government should come on board in terms of small incentives that they can give. Coming up with a poem is not just an overnight thing. It's something that one should do research on. It's just not beautiful words that one puts together. It's really a lifestyle, because you study people, you are cognizant of your environment. You write about those who can't speak for themselves. You write for the voiceless, for those who are oppressed, for those who experience inequality, for those, that is the voice of the poet, to speak for those who can't speak for themselves.
Beyond this poem, do you see yourself continuing to write more works that engage with Namibia's history and identity?
Definitely. I have an upcoming anthology that is entitled The Eyes of Light. And in that anthology, I try to feature a lot of Namibian stories from those who, who heard about the stories of genocide, the victims, and also those who were once, stigmatized because of issues such as HIV/AIDS. So it just shed light on very sensitive issues within our societies. Some of the issues in our culture that are somewhat taboo, that women are not supposed to speak about. I feature some of the things that every Namibian can relate to.
What has been the public response so far to Sing Our Heroes? Has it surprised you in any way?
Yes, I think the more the public is told about what happened, the price that they had to pay, where there is information, and I think it brings light and it brings understanding. And so it looks like people are now coming to the table. They see, they feel, they experience. And that is the work of poets. We want to paint a picture where people can see, can feel, can experience, can witness.
Finally, could you kindly read the poem for us?
Sing our heroes. Our sheroes. Yes, they rose. Fierce, brave, they would not turn. Sing, morning sparrow. Sing the names of our heroes. Samuel Maharero, Hendrik Witbooi. Sing Ipumba Yashilonga. Sing, for the spoils of war have settled. They pushed, they moved, the dust rose and settled over springs. They are yellow, the red savanna stained with blood, not of sweet berries or omapia mokuti. Today we eat, but their flesh was meat. The vultures descended, they flapped their wings, and eagles witness. Mandume Yandemefayo, who have mourned and escaped like the whirlwind. Sing, our heroes, sing. Make merry in the ground you sleep. Your children have seen the traces of winds. For us you bleed, your name runs deep. We sing on this threshing floor. Namibia, our land of hope. You have left marks on our trees. Anamungunda, the pollen on our flowers is rich. Yes, you believed and went yonder. Sing our heroes. The sweat of your brow spills and drips. Honey has escaped from these bees in our plates because of your breeze. Your breath stolen from the earth. Before our eyes, the land declares the bow and the arrow, the horse and the shadow. Our heroes we sing. Climb to the highest seat, fought, gone. You were not bought. To us you won. So we sing, and for you all, because of you we are free. Thank you.